Hello. Welcome back to the late night talks with romantic developer. And right now I'm just verifying if everything is working as expected on my phone. Okay, and looks like it's working fine. So welcome once again. Be started. Today is our first day of the streams after when we completed the challenge. So I couldn't say it would be more relaxed or less relaxed. Of course, it would be, of course, it's time to rethink what we've done and maybe come up with some new plan, some new ideas, some new format. So, and that's exactly what I'm going to do today. So, starting from today, even we started yesterday, but yeah, let's let's start. First of all, the streams fall into two parts. First part when we talk about just events, just news, just personal reflections, and second part of the stream is when we look into something technical, discuss something technical, doing some coding, or maybe sometimes we just planning what we will do, but much more related to our technical stuff. Both parts are fine to do with you. If you have any questions, give me a second. I'm just very quickly look at the community tab on my channel, just understand if I missed any questions. No, I haven't missed any questions. So yeah, looks like it's fine. It's good. Okay. About personal reflections, we don't have any questions from news. You know, the news is always, it means that, okay, maybe there are some good news. Of course, they're happening every day, and they're happening because you're alive, you get up, you see the world, and let's set some timer for us. I have a beautiful new timer. So it's all great news because we could see our loved ones, etc., etc. Things are happening. People give birth. People get married. They finish their schools, colleges, universities, and so on. And they buy the first car, the first house. They get married, and so on, so on. There are multiple things. They're happening every day. Some company secured other company. Someone create new companies. Someone has success. Someone has their experience and lessons. So everyone is working and everyone are great news. If you will look on the global scene, it's not as clean and as simple and as happy as we just talked. It's a lot of events happening everywhere, and many of them are connected with some conflicts somewhere. You know, if you read the news, you probably will not read news about something great just happened. It's all about something has happened, and it's all connected to some conflict or to some you know, some death of someone or some events from which some group of people will benefit, but other group of people will not benefit. So there are not so much win-win situation in this world, and it's of course unfortunate. I'm looking, of course, at news coming from Ukraine, Russia conflict of war scene. The funny part that it's still not declared as a war, in either country. So in both countries, it's like in one it's called special operation, and the other call, I don't exactly remember. Before Ukraine was involved, because Russia started that conflict. Before that, it was a anti-terrorist operation in some regions of Ukraine, when Ukrainians tried to get control over other regions which so-called supported by Russia government. But at the end, of course, most of the soldiers on both sides were Ukrainian, so it was classical war against your own people, which are supported by other country, which probably happening around the world as well. It happened in Syria, it happened in multiple others. So when countries or when territories are divided. So it happened in Ukraine, and current president Zelensky came to government because he promised to resolve these conflicts in any way. And after a few years he came and that conflict, he said that he will stop any negotiations, because there was some part of negotiations called Minsk agreements, on which part of the territories, like these territories, will go back to Ukraine as some like states with extended autonomy, which means that they could take some decisions themselves. It's like in United States. So you have federal laws, you have state laws. So the very similar things should be with that countries, in that country, with that regions or states, but they will be represented in parliament or like in Congress, what is in United States. And Russian language will not be prohibited in Ukraine, but it would be like second language where you can speak on federal level, basically. Something similar like we have Spanish in United States. If you come to any government building and you need to fill some forms, in most cases you have the same form in Spanish, and in multiple cases in other languages. So, but at some point of time, it was a decision from Ukrainian side to stop all the negotiations, which was not only between Ukraine and Russia, but other countries like Germany, France, Belarus, and probably some others were parts of it. And then Ukraine said, now we officially have a course to go to NATO. And you know what happened later, because NATO, it was like a red towel for bull for Russia. And I don't say they do it, they reacted properly, they do it gracefully and so on, but it's understandable. As well, probably it was understandable why Ukrainians stopped negotiations. It's less understandable, but of course there are their arguments. They have their arguments. Everyone has their arguments. And after that, I'm just looking on that scene and see that in that non-declared wars every day, thousands of men have died. 1,000 become disabled, and it's very, 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 very bad events, very pity, unfortunate, and so on. And looks like it's not going to stop anytime soon. I really wondered if it will be possible to stop once Trump take the office, but looks like before that they have a lot of resources to continue those operations from both sides. Even if Trump decide to cut off all the expenses to that. And Trump wasn't in situation where he Ukraine doesn't want to listen what I'm telling, fuck up Ukraine. No, he is leader of the one of the most powerful country in the world, so probably he will not do that because it will show that he has some weaknesses, and most probably Trump don't like to show any weaknesses. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, from those fronts and what I see in Europe, some news, etc., it's all like everyone got prepared for another war with Russia, with some other uh, forces, etc. So people look forward to have a war rather than to have a peace. And of course, it's very unfortunate. And I thought about today. We have some driving with my wife, and we went through few streets with that Christmas lights. And Christmas, we just remembering why people light up that Christmas lights, because they celebrating Christmas, New Year, but mostly like it's called Christmas light, so it's Christmas. And Christmas when a man who provide new philosophy of life was born like several 2,000 years ago and something. And it looks like he provided some beautiful formulas to the people how to live happily and how to be close to, let's say, to God, to Absolute in what they're doing. And of course, his formulas were like everyone knows them. Like, please act to others like you want they act to you. And maybe it could be extended to think, etc. So, because when we think about something, we also act in, and so on. So, at the end, what I could say, at the end, there are very few people in the current world who trying to follow this. We tend to follow previous formulas provided in different religions, like eye for eye, hand for hand, and so on. So if someone did something wrong to you, at least you think so, you will want a revenge. You will want a revenge. And unless you receive it, you will not stop, and you will continue to look for that revenge. And of course, it will take a lot of your energy, and again, it's all very complicated. So yeah, my son's smiling because he smiled so loud recently, and now he understands that I'm do streams. Okay, we stop on revenge. So many people looking for that revenge, maybe not their ideals, but they're looking into in their, what they think about. And it's very hard to call kindness, love, even acceptance, because in many cases, revenge is not something, okay, someone doing something bad to you, like he just, I don't know, he doing something which is hurting you. So it's revenge will not help. Proper action will help, or proper words when you say, hey, it's doing me bad, let's think how we could coexist, and you don't do that for me, and everyone would be happy, and everyone would be satisfied. And in many cases, it's very simple to find resolution for any problem, and you just can forget and move forward to your dream. But in many cases, I don't know, some person said something to you. It could be anyone. It could be your boss. It could be your colleague. It could be some random person on the street. And you could return to that situation and look how you would respond, how you would receive some satisfaction in a response or in your action. So you don't live your now, your current time. You live your past or your future or whatever. And of course, you lose so many energy on those. And surely you're not following any of the philosophy which provided you by that miracle of which celebrated on Christmas, and people light up Christmas lights near their houses. By the way, I think much fewer people now light up Christmas lights. Maybe it was my impression, but sometimes I see like Christmas lights only on one house in 10. I understand it's depends on neighborhood, but like rarely I see like every second house. Mostly it's one house and then few houses without it, and maybe in some houses they do very formal lights. They already pre-built it or like pre-installed, and they just switch it on, and it's Christmas lights. So no decorations, no other decoration, just some lights around the roof of the house, and set it, which also adds some mood. But do you really celebrate the gift of love you receive so many thousand years ago? Because before that it was no definition of love. There was of course love between people, between men and women, that those time, maybe some other people between parents and kids and so on, but wasn't definition of higher love when you could love just people, just word, yeah, and everything else. It in most cases it was more like but not love, and it was a gift of well-defined love, feeling of love, and it was a cool gift. And most people not respecting that, or of course they don't have time, they don't have energy, they don't see why they need do that, etc., etc., of course. So yeah, I think even this thing, even in United States, people not light up their Christmas lights, it's also lead to that people not respecting the gift of love as before, and of course it's all lead to some results, to some conclusions. Yeah, and a lot of reflections about that thing with me today. Also, just as Chris said, that you should love your enemies, and that is completely, it's very hard to understand even for me, because love is not just acceptance, love is not just forgiveness. Love is when you, let's say that with our terms which we like used on the channel, is providing, gifting some of your energy, yes, gifting your warmth and energy of acceptance, energy of wisdom to other people, and providing it to enemy. Do you know such people? The best people, sometimes when they have some enemies, they can just accept them, accept their existence, their deals, and they probably could stop looking for revenge and just let it go, and let it go in heart. And we call those peoples like saints. But do you know any person who, after they have enemies, they can continue to love them? So I think we, even after 2000 years, still have to learn a lot. And of course, upcoming events will provide us those chances, because yeah, otherwise we probably will not, we don't want to do that. Maybe with that help from word we will be able to do, maybe. Okay, now let's switch to other part. I know that right now it looks very similar to before. Yeah, very similar to what we had before. Okay, let me look where we are. We are 20 minutes into the stream. It was our romantic developer YouTube channel plan for the next year, and we defined some of the things here. Yes, can we move it somewhere. So, okay, maybe like that. Oh, no. Maybe it's the same level, you know. Okay. I believe that is not the same level. Let's see if it, oh yeah, it shows something to us, some red line, at least some help from YouTube slides. Maybe we could move it next and let's call it shorter educational videos. Okay. And what things we do have here? Let's choose something very simple, like questions. It's background. Apply layout. Oh, it's nice. It's so multiple, so many things here. Text and image. Text column, maybe that one. What if we just trying to make it bigger? This side. This side. Maybe this side. Okay. Video list. So let's define some of the videos we will do during next week, at least one video during next week. And we have how to download YouTube video or audio. Let's replace it with YouTube. Also, maybe we will review online websites, YouTube DLP, keeping YouTube DLP up to date, maybe some batch scripts to help. Okay, what the other video? Yeah, I know it's small, but yeah, looks like maybe we could do like that and it will be bigger. Okay, but we need switch between that and that for some time. So how to transcribe? Yeah, it's a good subject. How to transcribe any video, and we say for free with local whisper, Google Colab, OpenAI SDK via CRUD call batch file. Let's say that. At least we will have something for that video. I'm sorry, and let's look for other things. How to use local AI helper Python tool. Yeah, in 3 weeks we should be ready to share that things. AI helper Python tool. What we could discuss. Full process for any YouTube video. Setting up OpenAI account and creating a key. Tool setup. And what else? Other options like test prompts, transcribe, download, update, YouTube prompts. Slightly more about update YouTube, batch execution on folders, URLs. Okay, it looks good. So we already have 3 videos, pretty well defined what we will do. What else we have? Self-performance organization. Okay. We started new list. Maybe we get start restart numbering, edit prefix suffix at 4. Okay. Which techniques I use to help with performance organizations? And here probably we could say it's about to-do list, Pomodoro timer, diaries, plan for everything, plan for different parts of them, plan for different parts of them, of life, of the life. So we have described videos for 1 month. What else we could do here in that list? What other interesting videos or interesting techniques we already achieved? Of course, it will be some maybe talking about other things, about locally to pay helper Python or something. Maybe how to use chat GPT to help automate something on example of YouTube AI helper batch working with chat GPT, downloading required tools, putting all of the steps in batch, create a shortcut, share my batch file. Okay. So looks good. We have 5 videos. It's basically 5 weeks. We could, of course, write next, but it would be, it would be those video. I like those fonts more. What is that font? text box. It's Barlow, and that is, let's try to find Barlow sin, and that is Barlow sin. That is Barlow sin, and that would be maybe Barlow bold. Oh, it's too bold, but it's fine. Oh, should we keep everything like everywhere? What is that font? Also Barlow, but it's Barlow normal, and that is heptaslab medium. Interesting, and that is heptaslab normal. So most probably we need to mark that as heptaslab medium. Yeah, looks like. Okay, we created a video list. I've created a video list, yeah, without your help at the moment. But let's see that sync. Use AI to provide discussion starters. So let's go here and let's use second. Let's say okay, let's make it smaller. Okay, let's keep 1, 2. I like colors 3. So use AI to provide discussion starters, and probably we could reuse that sync. So let's copy paste. Let's call it the same sync. Oh, I copied it 2 times there. Interesting. Oh, really? It is. Still looks good. Okay. Oh. Let's move it bigger. To do. So here we could remove everything, and here let's sync. What we need, use AI to provide discussion starters. It's interesting. So we need to write a prompt. We already have something. Yeah, create additional prompts which will take into account full previous stream and summary from several previous to provide a few starter points for the next stream. So discussion starters. Most probably we need to provide some context. Build the context for the LLM prompt. And for context, we will take content, full content of the previous stream. Take summary of the 5 streams before previous. Look for some most important news in the world. And look for few for some most important news in Ukraine, Russia. War. I will call it war because it's very, so it's actually a war, despite how others will call it, because every day a lot of people dies. People in both countries, after 3 years already, a lot of people hate each other. Again, let's call that this way, because of course there are multiple exceptions. But when, because of some others, people, you know, other die, of course people used to hate. We talked about a lot about how hard to stop hating something, wanting a revenge, start following Christmas rules, and so on, so on. Christmas delivered, derived rules. And most important news in AI scene. Let's start it with some asterisk. Maybe we will omit that for writing a question. Build a prompt which will ask, which will take into account all the context and provide few questions. And it will be questions about first part of the streams, discussing reflections or news, personal reflections or news, personal reflections on news, or on news. Following the topic in the stream. And let's ask, the second question would be around about first part stream. The other question would be around technical part of the streams wood without H. Looking as main point to previous stream, but other 5 as well. AI, most exciting AI news. Provide the news as summary and ask the streamer what he is thinking about. So that prompts will help us to create very funny, or not funny, but surely quite informative questions, which would take into account the stream we having, the of course technical expertise we discuss in every stream. I'm sorry. And yeah, because we are used to talk about AI a lot, we also will start talking about AI. Will it start? No. Okay, we started, and let's maybe we have order. No. We have some beautiful templates before. Okay, theme. Okay, it's allow me to be on the screen without obstructing the display. Okay, so we just need to restart numbering from 4, from 3. Okay, and so we need understand. Probably it would be so how we will do that? How we will do that thing? I like to have something, quite configurable and rich in functionality, but of course it's very hard to create in during the stream. So what we will expect from that functionality, how it should work. The one case, of course, we could go through folders, get all the content of previous streams, combine it, and go to ChatGPT prompt and say, hey, could you please create for us some question and find all the news, etc., etc. It will be a nightmare. It's not what we want. We want that functionality to be smart enough. The most I want, the most actions I want. Actually, I don't want any action, but in case I need to do, I'm okay to just execute it. Just start, execute it, and leave it as is. So most probably it would be a helper program. Or part of our prompt, of our part of YouTube AI helper. In Python, yes. So we have configurable prompt. In prompts folder. Because we already have update YouTube functionality, probably we could get the last 6 streams IDs, search for those IDs content in the, let's say, video folder. Let's think about that as part of YouTube AI helper Python program. Okay, so configurable prompt, it would be not one prompt but multiple prompts. Create okay, search for summary in 5 previous streams, summary prompt txt, plus we have transcript txt for the last stream. Can we ask ChatGPT to search some web and return us something? Research how to get latest news in different subjects areas. So all that points will help us to build our prompt, our context. Execute one or multiple. So how many? Execute one or multiple prompts with that context to get questions for the next stream. Post them as comments for previous stream. Maybe. So the question is when we want to post them as comments. So yeah, it's interesting. Because for news, it's better to post it, you know, right before the stream. For everything else, it's better to post it in maybe in just in the stream chat, in the live chat. Yeah, it's a question. It's a question. Post them as a comments for previous stream. Okay, let's leave that. Research ability to post it to the live chat as we speak. But it would be more functionality for other things. Okay. So let's review what we have right now. We have a plan, and we already took some of them, our initial parts, action plan. So shorts. Let's put it video projects from streams. Okay, so we are looking to right now create discussion starters as part of maybe our functionality, as some additional functionality, as some additional maybe plugin or something. And then, of course, we will look into building a chatbot for YouTube, which will be connecting to our streams and listen to us. It would be nice how to build in that he could listen to us. With my chats, with my, streams, I have enabled the thing which called, if we will go to YouTube, you will see, let's just disable the sound. Okay, sound is disabled. So I have that thing which called live transcription. So, and with that, if you could, I don't have that. Yeah, we have the live chat, but we don't have transcription here. But maybe it will be possible to read the transcription online, or we need to use some real-time API to listen to what I'm talking in the stream somehow, and or maybe it could listen my microphone and send it to Whisper, transcribe it, and be aware of everything I'm talking right away, and just post it in the chat. Who knows? Maybe it will work. Okay. So yeah, let's return to our plan. Let's start with discussion topics. it's still would be the same stream series, late night talks. But once we could do a building chatbot, we could start a new series, and it would be much more exciting and interesting comparing to everything else we had before. So it would have a continuous interaction with us, unless we want to ask it to be less frequent. I don't know. Of course, we will test everything with it. And yeah, we will learn how to build that things around YouTube interaction. Also, we want that building chatbot not only to participate in live chats, but also crawl in YouTube space and find something, some other streams, videos, and leaving some comments. So yeah, maybe it would be the next part. Okay, what we have 50 minutes of this stream. We have Python script upgrades, and we need to, yeah, we already implemented a lot. Everything in red is implemented. Everything in gray is something we need to do, especially to do point is nice. So, and something is light gray, would we need to do it as part of that Python script upgrades, as part of our YouTube AI helper, what's next slide desk or not. So let's look at the ChatGPT for Or Mini today. And to look into that, we need go here. And we have some of our configuration. Our default configuration is generic Azure with our prompts. And for our generic configuration, we just could go here to model GPT for Or and say Mini. Let's review very quickly. I believe I have this here. Okay, it's usage activity, but we need some API reference. And let's search for Or Mini chat GPT for Or models. Okay, let's go to the models. And we have our GPT-4o model, and it's not, of course, it's not costly, but it's cost something. And yeah, it's much better than GPT-4 Turbo. Multimodal, accepting image inputs, and is accept text or image inputs and output in text, and at the same time has high intelligence as GPT-4 Turbo. GPT-4o, high-end intelligence model for complex tasks, and we have GPT-4o Mini, most advanced model in the small models category, and our cheapest model yet. Yeah, it's super cheap, like 1 million tokens, like input for, I don't know, for 15 cents, 1 million tokens, it's about 750,000 words in English. And accepting text or image inputs and output in text, has higher intelligence than Turbo, very fast. Choose Mini where you would have previously used Turbo. Okay, and it has the same number of tokens, as you see, the same number of 16,000 tokens, and it's called GPT-4o Mini. So, real-time plus audio beta. Okay, it's our next part, you know, because it's real-time preview, just 4,000 tokens, but for real-time it's really should be fine. Okay, let's switch to our projects and let's just replace it Mini. Let's have mass tokens as 16,005, and probably for all the next tokens we have the exactly same beta chapters. Yeah, it's all the same description. So it's all the same, exactly the same. So we could compare generic. No, let's even do something like that. Copy generic. Let's call it generic full, and no, let's call it generic mini. Generic mini. Let's go here. We have some configuration changes, and let's just revert, discard changes. And because we're not going to right now to so we don't want to commit generic mini, let's just put here git ignore for everything. With that, we don't have any changes except some compare, but which we probably need to drop off. We already compared the different models. It was fight between models in our channel. Okay, so right now we have generic and generic Azure and generic mini. Generic mini is our LLM config mini version, and generic is just LLM config GPT-4o. So let's compare GPT-4o and GPT-4o mini, if it would do the same or not. And so there are two functionalities where we call our models. One is when we improving our SRT transcript, and other is when we executing prompts. We could easily execute prompts and see how they behave, because executing a transcript, it's we need to call whisper, yes, and it would be slightly more complex. So let's open our folders. Let's open our folders and try to understand So let's open our folders here, and we just download all the files here at the end. And let's see our pass stream, and we have yeah, do we have any way? Okay, I like that to view it as details. So let's have date modified, and we have description 47 minutes. Yeah, it looks like right about pass stream. We have title, which okay. We have keywords, which are okay, and better chapters, which we inserted into the description. So let's remove all of those, and we need to go to our command prompt and execute our functionality. So main.py with we need process prompts, and let's say config folder. Is it the same parameter, config folder? Maybe just config configurations, because we use config folder, we need to provide or relate path or full path to configuration folder. If we use config, probably we could just have a name. Okay, let's use generic. So first combination of prompts would be generic. Let's execute it. Oh, it says unknown option, config, because we need to, of course, have main Python before any config folder, and then we just could process prompts, and then we need we haven't provided a folder. folder not found, and let's provide that folder to our when we just copy path from prompts from top, of course it's not added the double quotes at the beginning and at the end. Okay, let's prepare to validate the results. Date modified is that, and we just looking for description, title, and keywords. Where's the keywords? Oh, we haven't completed yet. We are still executing. We're still waiting for keywords to come before we could replace. As you see in description, we have better chapters, and once we complete everything, we will replace something like better chapters with content of better chapters. So we have everything: title, better chapters, description. We have even some keywords. Oh, some nice. And let's see if we try to complete better chapters, keywords, title, prompt, request, post. Most probably it's had some issue with number of requests and it's waiting for something. Probably we need to add more details, you know, to our already detailed login here. By default we have info log level, so maybe we could sometimes have even verbose to provide even more details. Okay, it's understandable that we couldn't execute it for some reason. Let's start another command prompt. Let's went to projects, romantic developer, YouTube, AI helper. Let's go to our Python helper. Just to properly execute everything, we need activate our virtual environment for Python, basically where all the prerequisites are installed in the proper order. Okay, actually we are already here, and what it's said? Actually it saved keyword prompts. And why it took so long? No idea. Maybe they have some issues once again. So, you know, for title and keywords, let's remove all the prompts and let's execute it once again with generic, which will use GPT for O, not for O mini. This time it executed fast. It's all, I mean, it did everything we just need. So let's compare description, prompts, and titles, and we just want them to open in here in Notepad. It's our title, it's our welcome to part 2, and it's our better chapters here, and everything we want to say about that. And now we could execute the very similar prompts, but with model GPT-4o mini. And for that, we just, where we have generic, we need to write generic mini. So we will use the same model, but in that case, it would be O mini. And let's see the results. It would be the same results, and let's open them here in Notepad as well. Hello. Okay, title 2 and title. achieving 152 consecutive days of streaming and journey of habits building and personal growth, building habits, overcome challenges, and embracing AI. Looks good here and there. Let's see keywords. Keywords: streaming, challenging, habit building, personal growth, overcoming procrastination. Yeah, we talked about that. AI advancements, tools, YouTube AI helper, video transcription, Whisper, OpenAI scripts, Python tool, live streaming, video automation, video editing, education contest, YouTube strategy, stream series, human is future. Nice. And what is that? It generates even more keywords. But yeah, with keywords, we already talked about it. It's have some challenges because we could insert only 500 lengths of keywords, but when keyword has two words divided by space, it's added not lengths like here, lengths it's 14, but it will add 13. So it's our 14, then it will add another one, will be 15, and it will include something like that. So it's at another 2, so it will be 17. So because of that, of course, 500, it would be maybe something like that. Not 360, but about 400. And then we just add number of commas. And for all the 2 words or 3 words keywords, we need to add another 2 characters, and that number should be less than 500. So most probably we will skip all that things. But yeah, everything keywords to even provide more. Mini provided more things. Let's compare description. Welcome. In this engaging continuation, we celebrate a monumental achievement, consecutive days streaming. Our share insights on importance, balancing, lesson, psychological. We also explore the exciting development, all that video chapters, 3704 from introduction, why you should tune in, stay updated. If you enjoy video, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Nice. Let's see keywords description to prompt. Welcome to episode of Light Night. In this special milestone episode, we celebrate incredible journey. Key highlights: the journey of streaming, for insights into overcoming a deep introduction. And then, will it work? Let's see. I like how it's very close, automating shorts creation. 34. Do we have 34? 32, creating shorts and automation. 32, 33, 34, 33, and here 34, 33. So we executed several times, but it's identified precisely every time we execute, because it's, you know, that better chapters, it's also results of mini model. That one is a result of mini model. So let's see, think what we have. Enhancing video content with AI. 11. It's not video content, in video content transcript. 1109, and here 11. We don't have anything about 11. Improving subtitles and transcription about 1208, and here local and cloud LLM models. Future plans. Okay, it's slightly different, of course. AI and global challenges, 5 minutes. Coping with global changes and AI development. So yeah, mostly it's created both pretty nice prompt, you know. Stay tuned, don't miss. Let's continue this journey together. Thanks. Let's keep growing together. Yeah, I like both. So Omini here works pretty cool. So what we can do, we can probably go to videos. I don't know. Let's do also long stream. Let's see what is the long stream. 151 transcript description. Okay, about 1 hour. It's good enough. Yes, good enough. So, and let's copy and let's paste it here, and let's test video 1. Okay, from test video 1 we just could remove everything, all the results, and let's copy paste. It would be test video, and let's call it, oh, I don't want to press F1, I want to press F2 to just rename it test video 2. So in both videos we have just OGG and M4A. They are identical. So let's compare the video transcription improvement work, if it works nice with O-Mini model. Once again, while it will use O-Mini, because here in configuration we have generic and generic mini, and here we use GPT-4o mini model, and here we use GPT-4o model. Maybe we could say which model we use just to make sure that we are nice. Maybe in config. So default model GPT-4o, but then we read it config. Maybe where we do prompt processor. Process single prompt. Schema, load, output, generate and save response. And here in generating response, we say response messages, response format, create chat completion. Self client. Hello, where we have our models. Messages. Let's see. Nice. Config. Client, self, AI client, self config none. Oh, yes, we use client as, okay. So, see, we did that and I already forgot process single prompt. And here, where generate and save response, we say client create chat completion. And if we go here, actually, if it use, in that case, we don't use Azure, but we use our OpenAI SDK. We have model, self, model, config default model, and we have all of that. So maybe in self config default model, because we are using it, we can go and maybe here successfully initialized Azure clients, OpenAI client. Let's call here model will be used, and let's just say self config default model. Okay, with that we will add slightly more output, so we'll make sure that we do everything properly. And right now we just need, say, not videos, but first of all we need to do transcribe. And for videos, let's see, it would be videos test video 1. So it would be test video 1. Oh, so okay, configuration folder generic, it would be transcribe, and here it would be, oh, come on, what I'm doing? Sorry. Generic transcribe, and for video I just need to put test video 1. So we transcribe in first video. In both cases we use Whisper for transcribing. In that case we use Whisper through SDK for transcribing, which is nice because locally it would take more time. With transcribing, I'm just reminding you about 1 hour video, and once we receive the response, we improving that video transcription, we improving the SRT, received SRT. We also trying to improve it, receive improved SRT, and from that we create all required artifacts like transcript txt, which has only text. We have transcript LLM SRT, which has SRT in slightly simplified format, which works better with large language models. And yeah, but looks like from what I see how it's execute prompts, I believe it's just do greatly. So you see, we initialized multiple videos, multiple modes when we load it, and we successfully create all the OpenAI clients, our OpenAI clients, which allow us to execute different SDKs like Azure SDK and OpenAI SDK. And both says that for transcription and for prompt processing, everyone say, okay, we will use GPT-4o, which is nice. Probably we need to move initialization of OpenAI client somewhere else on the top level and just provide it where it's needed. It would be better, I think. Yeah. So we need to wait slightly. So let's wait unless we do the video 1. And while we're waiting, we could go and close all the prompts in our, no, here. And it's part of our script to execute everything in of all their script to execute everything as batch file. Yeah, it's pretty insane. Don't want to return to that actually. It was nice exercise, but so many underwater rocks, you know, bottlenecks. So we transcribed and then we send in to Whisper API requesting skipped subtitle at index, save transcript files at. Okay. Oh, we improved transcription as separate steps, looks like. Yeah, looks like. Okay, just to save some time, let's go to test video 1. Let's copy everything. And let's go to video test video 2 and insert our subscription. It would be the same, we use the same model. It's not point of our interest. Point of our interest is to use not some transcribe, but let's improve. I believe improve SRT is part of, you know, is part of transcribe, but looks like it's separate item. I already forgot. So it's part of full process, of course, but not part of transcribe. It's separate step. So let's execute in test video, improve SRT with, improve. Okay, we need to add letter P, improve. So we use in GPT-4o. We divided all the transcript into several chunks. Yes, we divided by number. So yeah, it's a good point to add. While we're waiting, let's go for romantic for Python script upgrade, and instead this of 2. Let's write something like divide transcripts into parts, calculating tokens, part properly calculating tokens. Maybe let's make it smaller. Properly calculating tokens. So right now we do fail-safe operation. Most probably it would fit into one request because we shouldn't exceed 16,000 of tokens. But it's, again, if we have multiple hours transcript, sometimes we exceeding 16,000 of tokens. But in most cases, no. But again, right now we divide it into two chunks and send in several chunks to processing, and then we just combine those chunks results. Of course, it should be pretty simple, but yeah. We do the same with whisper transcription. In case we received audio file is bigger than 25 megabytes, we also put like divided it into chunks, and then we trying to combine back all the transcript we received. It's one of the point why we also trying to improve this transcript, because sometimes we have some waste from that thing. So GPT-4o, you see, not super fast here, but yeah. Anyway, it's let's wait. It should, in that folder, in test video 1, it should create transcript original, where it will back up all of those things except word 30, and it will create improved version of all those 3 files after it's received the results. Maybe for improving, for speed up the things. Okay, looks like now I successfully reconnected. I have no idea how my stream will look like while I was not here. Looks like we have some electricity outage for a few seconds, but it was sufficient to drop everything, our router, even some lights, everything probably in the whole area. And I think even our router could work nicely because I have all those Wi-Fi signals, but I couldn't see any internet, and even through the phone it wasn't do so nice. So what we will do right now, we just repeat all this request, because at the moment we don't have any results. So we look how GPT-4o will work compared to GPT-4o mini to improve our transcript. That one will be using GPT-4o. You see model GPT-4o. And that one, let's copy the second string command. Will you use GPT-4o mini? Let's validate that model will be, let's stop it as soon as possible. Hello, let's stop it. We need to stop it. Why it's using GPT-4o? Really? How it's possible? Let's see our code once again. Generic mini. And it's generic mini. Okay. And we are using self. And we just saying we will use self. Whisper use config. Okay. Deployment name. It's okay. API key version endpoint, and here we use API key. It's a fine. And config default model. Let's look on our config. Here we use at the moment we try to find default model, and when we tested not properly, even with with prompts. Better to find out sooner than later, correct? Okay, let's see our second folder, if we have anything generated here. Test video folder, no, we have all the original things here. And in test video we still haven't received the full responses, so it's sent in second part for improvement. Here let's just insert what we have for our generic mini. Now it should use for our mini model will be used GPT-4